In San Diego, it's illegal to smoke on the beach, at a Padres game, and in a public park. When you add in statewide restrictions on smoking in bars, restaurants, and workplaces, California has some of the nation's toughest anti-smoking laws. However, people who live in multifamily housing are left largely unprotected against exposure to secondhand smoke. So, Ophelia, how bad was it when you'd come home?
Well, if someone had been smoking out here, I would come home and I could almost immediately smell it in this area. And then if I left the door open so my apartment would be fresh when I walked in, I would smell the smoke in here, similar to if somebody had been smoking inside my apartment.
Ophelia Alvarado has lived in her Point Loma apartment since 1994. A few years ago, a smoker moved in upstairs. Alvarado says the smoke would permeate her apartment, and her body would protest.
I would start with a burning nose first, and then my throat, a headache. And then eventually I started having heart palpitations. And that was so serious that I had to go see a doctor.
Alvarado worked with the property manager to ban smoking on the premises. Ironically, Alvarado does that kind of work for a living. As policy director for the American Lung Association in San Diego, she encourages communities here to establish smoke-free multifamily housing. Alvarado gets a lot of calls from tenants complaining about neighbors who smoke.
And I am very glad actually to have gone through that experience because I can understand and empathize with their experience of having to tolerate secondhand smoke and understand why they're feeling so frustrated or, actually at their wits' end about it.
To be sure, there are smoke-free apartments in California, but statewide, only 3 counties and 20 cities have laws that prohibit or limit smoking in multifamily housing. There are no communities in San Diego County that have such laws. That's due in part to stiff opposition from the San Diego County Apartment Association. Executive Director Alan Pentago says it's wrong to force property owners to go smoke-free.
So for us, the avenue is to allow the owner to take the best approach appropriate for his property. Instead of mandating it, give them the opportunity to decide what's best on their property.
The San Diego County Housing Authority has done just that. It owns 121 units in 4 different buildings in Chula Vista. They all went smoke-free last July. The county's Todd Henderson says protecting their tenants from secondhand smoke is the biggest benefit.
Second one is reducing the possibility of fires, people smoking in bed, lighting the place on fire. Obviously, that's a big concern. And then the cost involved in turning over a property that's had a heavy smoker in it. The walls may be coated with smoke and the deodorizing issue, carpet cleaning, things of that nature. There's a hard cost associated with that.
Besides banning smoking inside the apartments, there's no smoking in any of the property's common areas either.
The one area that we do have for smoking is down here. That's the one designated smoking area.
Don Mitchell has lived in the complex for 12 years. His wife has emphysema, so he's never smoked in his apartment anyway.
I don't find it an infringement. At first it annoyed me, but I thought the more I thought about it, the more I agreed with it. Seriously.